In this video, I'm joined by an OG in the Hex community, a prolific content creator, always a calm and logical voice in this crazy world of crypto. And I'm glad to get back on stream with him for the third time now. So with no further ado, Mr. Crypto Coffee.
What's up, fellow Matt? How you doing? That intro music had me pumped up. It's a good pick.
It got you pumped up, right? I can see you bouncing in the background. Yeah, man, two Matts back on stream, third time going at it. Good to see you. You've been cranking out the content as PulseChain is out, which I've been appreciating, getting the word out there. What's your initial thoughts on it all? The good, the bad?
Yeah, the good thing is PulseChain exists, so we should be very happy. We waited 2 freaking years, man. It wasn't easy, and it was kind of this climactic moment where everyone got over exuberant on the first couple of days. But just like we've been predicting, if you followed me, or I'm sure you've been saying this too, there's always a dip after new coins launch. Every single new coin has a dip. So I've been telling people on my streams, in the 2 years prior to PulseChain's release, hey, maybe expect a dip 30 to 60 days in. If you missed the sacrifice phase, again, we spent so much time telling people not to ratio trade and just buy the dip. And here's your dip, right? You've got it right now. We're exactly 45 days into PulseChain launch, maybe 46 days today. And this is the dip buying opportunity. If you want it, it's here. So Hex, PulseX, especially PulseX right now, and PulseChain are all at deals greater than, I guess, their sacrifice prices, right? I mean, you're buying Hex now, it's like taking a time machine and getting OG prices of 2 years ago. Hex at a penny, right, on either chain. It's pretty incredible. It's only, 10 grand for 1 million Hex. Might be a wise idea to scoop some of that up, but obviously get your Pulse bag, get your PulseX bag if you want, if you understand the value props or not, right? But this is the time to I think, be getting your ticket to the rocket ship, basically. Otherwise, you're going to miss the moon mission.
Yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity right now. I think a lot of people like to say they're going to buy Hex at a penny or buy this when it's down, but then people love green candles, right, as well. They love to chase green candles, which is counterintuitive to how actual successful investors work.
Yeah, it's it's really confirmation bias. People like to buy green candles because they like to know that other people already agree with them. But that's actually a terrible idea. You want to do the exact opposite and identify the opportunity when no one's heard about it yet, when everyone's still scared, when there's blood in the streets. Be greedy when others are fearful. Much easier said than done, for sure. Much easier said than done. But that's how successful investors win in the long term, because by the time the late adopters or the laggards come on board, they're buying the top because they needed that confirmation bias for other people to validate their decision. If you look internally and ask yourself why you think this is a good investment, you shouldn't need to look for any online guru or anybody to tell you what to put your money in. You should be buying it because you literally think it is a good, sound investment. So I try to teach people that a lot. A lot of people just want to say, that guy told me to buy, or they want people to think for them. But you have so much more power if you can think for yourself and identify and just have conviction in your beliefs earlier than everybody else.
Especially in a time like this, right, when there's not much to do, people should be doing research and looking into assets that in the next, 12 months, 24 months, whatever, 5 years are going to give them a good return on their investment. But a lot of people do like to just hand their brain over to someone else and say, hey, Peter Schiff told me to buy gold, or, this guy told me about this stock, and it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no, gold, guys, gold is done. I know maybe the some of the older boomer and Gen X generation won't like to hear that, but crypto is the new game in town. We got the new digital gold right here for you, and the upside potential is way higher. I like it better than a shiny metal because I can take it anywhere I want with 12 seed words in my head. It's a beautiful thing. Censorship resistance. Gold is cool. It looks pretty, but other than jewelry, heavy metals are kind of a thing of the past.
Yeah, I used to be a gold investor
Really?
when I was living in. Yeah, I used to and physically buy gold. Like I was living in Bangkok, in Thailand, big Chinese community. You can go down to Chinatown in Bangkok and buy bars of gold, and I was doing that from like 2013 to 2015, and it was cool because I was like, hey, but I had to get a safe at home. I was worried when I went on holiday. It wasn't actually, it kept its value and the price fluctuated and what's not, and it was better than. You okay? You back?
Yeah, I'm good.
It was better than having cash in the bank, right? Because that's easy to spend. So someone was like, hey, why don't you buy some gold? And I kind of got addicted to it. And I kept a lot of my savings at the time in gold, but it was a hassle, man. It was a hassle with the safe and buying it. And when I go and pick gold bar up and go home, I was worried I was going to get robbed on the way home. So
yeah, it's heavy too, man. It's like it's hard to bring that through an airport as well, depending on how much you had, right? But that's interesting. I mean, it is a store of value. It's just that we've got better stores of value out there.
Yeah,
a little bit lighter.
Before PulseChain, you were saying you were going to sit back, grab the popcorn, watch the fireworks. Did you stick to that plan, or did you do a little bit of trading here and there?
Let's see. Well, I did some liquidity providing. Okay. I think I did one small ratio trade of PulseChain into Hex, not on day one, but maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after launch. I just thought it was a good idea. I thought my Hex bags were a little low relative to my PulseChain, so I made one swap. But yeah, as time goes on, the whole ratio trading thing only gets more easier, basically. The reason everybody was, being warned early on in the first couple of days or weeks was because of the volatility and price discovery hadn't happened yet. And so if you were on the wrong side of a trade, it could have ended up very, very badly. But now if you look at these charts, we're starting to see some actual chart history, chart data, some patterns being formed. And so you can look at the Hex PLS ratio or the PulseX ratio, or even the PulseX Hex ratio, and you can kind of get a sense of, these things are looking a little range bound. Maybe Hex is looking a little high relative to Pulse, so maybe it's time to flip, one back into the other. But for the most part, I'm 100% staked on my Hex right now. Really waiting for a stake to come out because I really want to do some liquidity providing strategies as well. But I think I'll always be, 90 to 80% staked in Hex, and then use the remaining liquid Hex, liquid PLS, liquid PulseX for liquidity plays, because those are also, people say that there's a balance between active and passive investing, right? But you got to ask yourself, how active do you want to be? And I think as long as, for me personally, if I park my liquid Hex, PulseX in some of these safer, more stable liquidity pairs, where I don't have to worry about impermanent loss that much, that's still pretty passive to me. So I still like that. Obviously, I check on it every day or every other day, but it doesn't feel like, it's a full-time job, really. I mean, it shouldn't be. I don't want that. I don't want to be a day trader or micromanaging my finances. I just want to sleep well at night knowing that my money's working for me. I'm making yield in all kinds of different ways now. INC farming, got a little bit on pHex, pHex, doing some experiments here and there. So
dipping your toes in a few water, in a few bits and pieces, right?
Yeah. You doing anything like that?
When we had the eHex, pHex LPing, I was doing some of that, farming, getting some ink and swapping that for whatever was interesting on the day to me, whether that was PLS or PLSX. Since that's been closed down, I haven't really been doing much, just been staking my pHex on eHex. I was staked and I picked up some pHex liquid recently, and I've staked that. And I'm just chilling and watching how things play out. Obviously, we've seen a big pullback in the last 24 hours, single-sided staking, the news around that. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Richard can take his time on that. Clearly, it's not on the top of the priority list, but he'll get to it eventually, even if he didn't, I think PulseX would still do fine, but it's just kind of an ace up his sleeve if he needs to deploy that. Personally, I always looked at it like he could deploy that if somebody was trying to vampire attack PulseX. Now, I haven't seen any dexes that I think are really coming to attack PulseX directly and try to, blatantly vampire attack. A lot of the dexes that I've seen are they're claiming some differentiated value props like, oh, we're the meme coin dex, or, oh, we're the advanced, balancer fork dex. That's not to say that could never happen, right? So you could always wait, and be strategic about when you deploy single-sided staking to kind of defend yourself from any potential attacks, right? You don't necessarily want to just use all your tricks right away. So I'm cool with waiting, but it would be nice to earn yield on PulseX. But hey, I'm still earning yield in a couple of INC farms on that. So yeah, it's not really huge news to me, man. Like I don't understand if people are really wound up about the fact that it's not here right now. I don't know. That's really short-termism. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe go touch some grass or something. But hit the gym, go for a run. Yeah, it's a bear market. It's tough. So people are going to get very upset about pretty much anything, just because all the prices are down, right? So they'll find a reason to get upset because the prices are down, and it does suck. But it's all about framing. You know, we just got to be thinking about the next bull market opportunity rather than risk. You know, this is the time to be getting in. And if you can see it that way and think about how great everything is in the ecosystem, it's a lot easier than thinking about what's not your way, right? What's not going the way that you would have done things. And there's a reason that, you know, you're not the developers and you're not Richard Hart, not you specifically, but, you know, I'm imagining a random guy out there that's angry about something, but I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, you're not calling the shots. Just be happy PulseChain is out. Be happy it works. It works flawlessly. Be happy Hex has never been hacked. PulseX is working like a charm. What more do you want right now? It's time to accumulate.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to make money on PulseChain or in crypto in general. Single-sided staking is one of them. I quite enjoyed it in 2021 on PancakeSwap. But that being said, I'm not sure what the APR is going to be looking like now, right? In this bear market, is it even going to be worth it? How many people are participating? And like you said, there's lots of other ways. Obviously, the OG way is Hex. We know eHex versus pHex has been a massive debate. I think I know your take on it, but I think some people watching don't. So what's your whole take on the eHex versus pHex debacle?
Oh, yeah. I think I talked about it on the stream, but sure. They're both going to be fine. They're both going to survive. I get really irritated when I see people calling for one to outright die, but I just don't think that they have any clue what they're talking about. You don't want any of these coins to die because it drags down. They're all bonded together with liquidity. So to try to kill one is basically like shooting your own bags in the foot. So I tell people, look, I like all four. I like eHex and pHex. I'm actually very pleased with how the ratio is stabilizing at around 0.66. I'd love it if the ratio stabilized there forever because I want to do some eHex, pHex liquidity bonding myself. Again, I need to wait for that stake to come out, but that's going to be a great opportunity for me in the future, near future, I think. So I like where we're at. I mean, one-to-one parity was never a guarantee in my book. I was always skeptical. I was always, you know, in my previous streams, I would say, well, one-to-one parity could happen, but we could also get like a ratio locked in at 0.5 or 0.7 or something. And then we could have that version of parity too, where it's just the prices might move up and down together, but the actual US dollar value is different. So who knows? I mean, that anything is still on the table. It's just what the people want to value it at, just based on the free market and people buying and selling at the end of the day. But you don't have to like one coin to, or you don't have to bash one coin to like another coin, especially when they're all so closely tied together. So it's just incredibly foolish to me if anybody's trying to, like, you know, shit on one coin essentially, because you're bringing yourself down as well. Like, it's like you're pulling a gun, but you're pulling a trigger on a gun that's pointed right at you. So doesn't really make sense to, you know, and I haven't really seen a lot of that negativity lately either. It was kind of just like a week of people just confused and revealing themselves that maybe they never really were into Hex in the first place, or they never had Hex stakes to begin with. And that's fine, dude. If you only like PLS and that's all you want, that's fine. You can tell other people to get into PLS or PulseX or whatever your favorite coin is. I like all four. But you just don't want to put something down you don't have to put something down in order to like the other thing. And it's just really not wise, even for your own best interest. I mean, if you were maximum greedy, you would want to be saying nice things about all these coins. But at the very least, don't be a detractor, right? At the very least, don't try to diminish the success of one thing. Just because you've got a giant PulseX bag doesn't mean Hex has to fail, right? You shouldn't want that. You should definitely not want that. If Hex fails, it's bad for optics. You know, I mean, look, chance of Hex failing near zero. Okay. But if that's what these people are hoping and praying for, well, guess what? They're all going to go to zero as well. Your PulseX bag is fucked as well. So I don't know. I think a lot of people know that. I think 90% of people probably understand that. It's not rocket science, but maybe there's some newbies out there, or some younger guys that just don't really know. That's my take. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, you're right. A rising tide lifts all ships. And I found it quite bizarre. I was like, what the hell is this? What is going on? Like, but
yeah, I
guess some people have got their ulterior motives. Who knows? But like you said, I think I agree with you. For me, I didn't think they'd be exactly at parity. I thought pHex would be one step ahead, and it was. And it seemed to be going fine. Obviously, there's been a few other things like the Godwell sack and what's not, which hasn't helped the eHex price. But long term, I think anyone who's staked out long term, you'd be silly to think that one's going to die and one's not. Like you said, it's not good for optics, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
and also people on Twitter, a lot of people get on there and they're so confident in their opinion, other people believe them, and it becomes this kind of like snowball effect, right?
People, yeah, you know, smart people talk because they have something to say, and dumb people talk because they have to say something, right? And it's crazy that everyone's reaching these conclusions after a 45-day-old chain, right? It's like everyone acts like they know exactly how the future is going to play out, or calling for, you know, finality and closure on things when it's always going to be evolving and changing. Prices are always going to be shifting around and flowing. The only constant is change, right? So to just declare that, you know, you figured it all out and you're the guy with the predictions, it's just absolutely foolish to me. So I wouldn't be listening to anybody like that. I clean up my Twitter feed pretty well, so I don't see a lot of that kind of you know, degeneracy out there. But
the mute function is amazing.
Brilliant, man.
Yeah,
my favorite button.
The mute function.
Yeah, I got a little carried away with that button during the whole eHex pHex debate. It's not even a debate, man. It's just like they're both going to be alive. Yeah, they're both going to do fine. Liquidity bonding, you could stake both of them. You don't have to buy into eHex if you don't want to, but eHex is lower liquidity and it will pump harder. It is more responsive to price movements. So, you know, do with that information what you will, but it's going to be around for a while.
One thing I like about you is, and maybe because you said you've been in crypto since like 2015, you obviously you're in the crypto sphere, you're active, you're a content creator, but you know when to step away, when to turn off Twitter, when to get outside and go for a run and do other stuff. I mean, that's, I think a lot of people who are a lot older than you, right? Because you're still a young guy, you're in your 20s, right? Need to learn that. And it's like you're arguing with people on Twitter, you're spiking your cortisol by going in Telegram groups and having arguments about what's best and what's gonna, you know, moon and what's not, what's gonna fail. And it's like, what's the point? It's crazy.
Yeah, dust in the wind, man. A lot of these people just they're barking up the wrong tree, and it's at the end of the day, no one really cares about this little debate you got in with a Twitter guy with 50 followers and going back and forth all day. It's just you got to take a step back sometimes and ask yourself if what you're doing is really productive, or are you helping the cause, or are you improving your life in any way? And if not, then it's time to just step away. You don't have to win every argument. You know, you don't have to be right about everything. And it's okay to say you don't know, right? I think I'm one of the, probably you as well. We're some of the only influencers in the PulseChain ecosystem and in the Hex ecosystem that could say, hey, we got to wait and see how things turn out. Like, let's not call it. Let's not call the shots right away. Everyone's all about price predictions and stuff, and those are fun, right? But I will always do the disclaimer of, I am pulling this number out of my ass. Like, I am just, if you want me to make something up, I'll make something up for you. But don't pretend like, you know, that me or somebody else has all the answers of what the price is going to be just because they drew some lines on a chart, you know, because that other guy's lines are different than that guy's lines, and he's saying something else. And a broken clock is right twice a day. So it's just a lot of us, like, there's a lot of uncertainty, I think, and people are really just searching for certainty. But if you stick to just educating about what the products are, I think you could have reasonable certainty that, you know, these products aren't going anywhere, and they're very advanced. They're very ahead of their time. Theoretically, right, value should flow to the best products. So we'll see in the bull run where all the value is flowing to. And even in beyond, right, people are only thinking about this bull run. They're not thinking about 10 years from now when PulseChain and Ethereum are a household name. You know, you want to go to the better products that are, you know, younger and more potential to pump. And I think we're in the right space for that. But it's there's this mentality too of everyone just thinks they're going to sell the absolute top, and that's way easier said than done as well. It's almost as hard as buying the bottom, because the euphoria kicks in, and then you end up buying more at the top because you're like, oh, I'm a genius and this is the future, and okay, but you know, shit goes up and down. So, you know, you might definitely try to take some profit in this bull cycle, but you're going to want to just, I don't understand the mentality of getting in and getting out and then never coming back. See, like, I look at the world and where it's going, and we're moving towards a fully crypto society. But if whether that takes 10 years, 15 years, that's fine. But you would never want to exit your crypto bag completely, right? Sell what you need to pay for your, you know, rent or whatever it is that you need to pay for. But hold your crypto bags, because it's going to become as common as dollars in the future. That's my opinion.
I mean, listen, it's so frictionless. It's so easy. I could send you 10 billion USDC if I had it, and no one.
Yeah, you
no
can
one
if you want to, bro.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay, sure. DM me that address. The old Nigerian prince.
Right.
But going back to what you were saying about price predictions, it's so true. Look at 2021. We were hearing maybe 1 million Bitcoin, right? Maybe 1 million for a Bitcoin. It would maybe at least 6 figures. We had people in our community saying $10 hex by the end of 2021. Like, this is all guesswork. I have people DM me sometimes and say, hey, Matt, what do you think of this? Is this a good entry? I'm like, I don't know, man. Obviously, I have my own opinions, but I could be way off. So, and I'm not going to tell you where you should buy, where you should sell, because I've been wrong many times myself. So I'm not giving out any buy, sell signals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've got like a Telegram or a Discord channel, but it's more just for shooting the shit with people and discussing strategies and more of a collaborative effort. I'm not just some oracle guy, like some mystical guru. Like, I'm not a Yoda that just you come to for their sage financial advice. Oh, what will the price be on, the full moon of January 1st, 2024? I don't know, man. Like, so, but we can all work through it together. We can all talk about it together and maybe try to demystify some of this stuff.
100%. With 2024, this comment here, a lot of people were talking about the Bitcoin halving. Also, BlackRock, they've applied for a spot ETF, Bitcoin ETF, and they've got a good track record of getting approved, right? They've got $9 trillion under management. Do you think if they get approved, that could be a catalyst for the next bull market?
Oh, yeah. Look, man, BlackRock can pump our Bitcoin bags and dump on retail's heads. That's fine, because I think that gives altcoins a space to rise. And, I'm really glad that they've been buying this dip the whole time, while also fudding all of crypto, maximum FUD. They're all in cahoots, man. The SEC, BlackRock, the timing was just impeccable, right? SEC sues Coinbase and Binance, and then a day later, BlackRock files for the first Bitcoin ETF, and they're probably going to get approved. I don't know if that's a coincidence, man. It seems very timely of them. So, look, everybody's behind the scenes gearing up towards trying to get a sense of control over crypto. And a lot of people, luckily, a lot of the people in government and power right now, they're old, they're out of touch. They don't realize that we've got better stuff than Bitcoin now. So let them have their Bitcoin. That's fine. Bitcoin's at the top of its S curve anyway. They can buy Bitcoin at $30,000 from all the people that bought it at $10, $100. But we're cycling out, right? Now we want to be in Ethereum and PulseChain and newer things like Hex and stuff, because Wall Street hasn't gotten their dirty hands in it yet. So, but we do need that Bitcoin bull market to kick off again, and I think Larry Fink can help us out a little bit from BlackRock. But while that's all going on over there, we'll be making the real money in these newer ecosystems. Yeah,
but definitely, obviously, that Bitcoin boom would drag all of crypto up, and obviously PulseChain and Hex. So 2024, is that still your prediction for the bull?
Well, yeah. What is it? April of 24, I think, is the Bitcoin halving. So we typically get a pump into that, and then, one last little dip to shake out all the weak hands, and then off to the races. So I think we'll see some action in 24, but I think in 25, we might see the parabola, hopefully, right? Everyone does have like a more bearish outlook now too. Watch it all change. The minute we get a green candle, everyone's predictions are going to be back to $1 million Bitcoin. I really don't think Bitcoin's going to 1 million. I think 80K to 100K is a reasonable target, because it's such a heavy object to move at this point. And every pump, every cycle, you do an order of magnitude less gains. Bitcoin did a 1,000x, and then a 500x, and then a 100x, and then a 20x. So if you just going off the pattern, kind of looking like we're due for maybe a 5x if we're lucky from the bottom. But that's Bitcoin, right? So yeah, what are we talking about? Oh, the bull market, 24, 25. Those are probably going to be the years. It's just let's not get carried away as well with the 10,000x thing as well. Like let's be happy if we get 100x or even 1,000x in PulseChain. But let's be a little realistic as well. Because yeah, these bear market predictions are bearish now, but when they get overly bullish, you also just want to be careful, because a lot of the 10,000x stuff is going to start coming back. Whereas I think everyone's spirits are a little defeated right now, and they're like, "Hey man, I'd be happy with a 50x," But it's like I still think, like, I have not changed. I still think from bottom to top, you can call it a gimmick, but we always have to measure from bottom to top. and obviously nobody catches the bottom or the top, but I think 1,000x for PulseChain is still in the cards. How much of that will you capture? Maybe 300, maybe 200 if you're lucky, and that's good enough for me. I don't know about you, man. Where else are you gonna get 200x?
Definitely not in an ETF or in the stock market or in gold or in real estate. I mean, yeah, it's volatile. It goes both ways. But like you said, no one's going to catch the bottom. No one's going to catch the top. But if you can get a couple of 100x, geez, that can be life changing. We're looking at what did I see the other day as well? I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. I think Michael Saylor or MicroStrategies brought another couple of $100 million Bitcoin, couple $100 million worth of Bitcoin. So maybe they know something we don't. Maybe the ball might be kicking off soon with BlackRock. But yeah, where else are you going to get like Bitcoin? Come on, how much higher can it go? It's gone from free to what was the peak? 69,000.
Yeah, 69.
So 80 to 100, maybe 250, 300, a million. I just think it's wishful thinking. That's all the Bitcoin maxis on Twitter trying to get you hyped up, like McCormack, that idiot, and who's the other one who's telling everyone to get on
Michael
board?
Saylor.
So it's obviously Saylor, yeah. And then people telling them to use BlockFi and what's not. Yeah, it's just a shit show. But
blind leading the blind out there, man. They forgot what crypto was invented. So, I mean, as long as you're holding your own private keys, it doesn't really even matter. Like, you could just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you could be pretty well set. But I like stuff that pumps harder, right? And yeah, if you can take some profit at the next around the next top to hold you over for another potential 2-year bear market, great. But think about how much money you'll have not only this cycle, but if you can hold for 2 cycles or 3 more cycles. Like, I'm coming up on my 3rd cycle now, and it's incredible. So just think about more than one cycle. You want to be in this game for a long time. Crypto's a game of attrition, right? Last man standing. So just the longer you can have skin in the game, the more I think it's going to work out for us.
Yeah, you need to, like anything in life, most things take, for every one person that got rich off SHIB or Pepe or whatever, there's a million that didn't, right? And it's, even though crypto, you can definitely get bigger gains and make more in a shorter amount of time, we're still looking in times of in 4-year cycles, or like you've been in nearly 3 cycles. How long that? 8 years now?
8 years. Yeah, I bought at the bottom of the so I'm coming up on my official 3rd, right? I guess I bought my first Bitcoin at around $400 maybe in 2015. Traded a lot of that away. I just pissed Bitcoin away, man. It's so embarrassing. If I look back and see how many Bitcoin I lost, I'd probably be very sad. But it's not worth thinking about. It's all in the past. And so I'm just trying to hopefully rub off on other people that, don't make some of the mistakes I made. You could save a full cycle. Like, if I bought the top of the 2017 cycle, and then I still held it all the way down, and I still dollar cost average. That's kind of like, I think, what a lot of people did in 2021. They bought the top, and some of those people are still dollar cost averaging, but that was tough, right? That was a tough moment. But because I had already done it once, it's like, okay, it's not my first rodeo. And there's probably going to be many, many more bear markets in the future, right? Wouldn't it be nice if we just get the roaring 20s though, and we just get like that Amazon, like if this was like the 2001, internet bubble, and we just go up and to the right forever, like Amazon. I like that narrative too. That's not off the table. If the gods at the Federal Reserve want to pump money into the system for the next 7 years, I'm down for that too. But as of right now, crypto does seem to be cyclical. It's eventually, though, it will be. This time is different, right? Like, what do you think? How long do you think we can just keep predicting these cycles, or do you think it'll eventually just kind of fall apart?
Yeah, I think that it's too predictable, right? Every 4 years we see, up and to the right, and then we see, how long does it last for? Less than a year. It's very short time, really, doesn't it? The actual, the 2021 bull market, how long did that last? Really, it kind of not that long. I think we crashed, didn't we? Not in May 2021. Then we started to go back up again. It was like a double top, wasn't it, for Bitcoin? And then from there. But I don't think so. I think that we have to get to some point, and if we get to a point where we get the roaring 20s for us, I mean, it's game over for any other asset class, right? If crypto just keeps going up and to the right. Talking about predictions, talking trading, getting in and out and losing Bitcoin. I know someone who started with 100 Bitcoin and just by trying to get in and out ended up with less than 20 and then ended up actually getting hacked and losing it all, which is just devastating. So you're talking millions of dollars, right? Sure. If we're talking about the 2021 top. So it really is about, you know, getting into something and something you have conviction in, putting it in cold storage, you know, owning the keys to it, which you just talked about earlier. You teach actually a course on, you know, to basics and for beginners getting into crypto. Is this one of the first things you teach someone or in the course, which is like not your keys, not your coins?
Yeah, we got a whole security module. That's actually module 2. The first part is all about the mindset that it takes to succeed in crypto and all the terminology and just the crypto 101 basics. What are all these coins? What is a blockchain? But then module 3 is security. So definitely very important. You don't want to be that guy, that horror story. You know, we've all heard about the guy that didn't he have like thousands of Bitcoin in a thumb drive in his house that he that was demolished. So he's been looking for a tiny little flash drive in the rubble of his old house for, you know, he's got like
I think that's in Wales, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. It's
yeah. And I'm like, man, good luck. But I mean, I don't know if you ever found it, right? So
no, he didn't. He was, I think it was hundreds of millions, or I'm not sure how much it was worth, but at the time, you know, maybe in 2021, it was hundreds of millions. And he even contacted the council, you know, the local government, and said, listen, I'll pay you to go through them. And they're like, it's long gone. We're talking 2014 or something like that. So don't be that guy, basically.
Yeah, man. Hold your keys on with your life.
So what are you using for your hardware stuff? Trezor, Ledger? What's your one of choice?
Nice try, hacker. No, I use a hardware wallet. Trezor and Ledger are both good. There's alternatives out there, but a lot of people wondered, you know, do I need a ledger too? Because it's also added complexity. It's added risk of you not understanding how to, you know, manage it correctly. You know, there's added risk of, you know, we've seen Ledger kind of drop the ball a couple times. They lost everyone's data one time, and then they publicly admitted that, hey, you know, we could basically have a backdoor on all these devices, and you'd never know. Like the guy at the CEO of Ledger said that when he was being questioned, because there was that whole fiasco about one of their custody services and about how they have recovery options for people, and people were like, "Wait a second, isn't it not your key? You know, isn't it not your keys, not your coins? And now you're telling me you have my keys too?" And then he's like, "Yeah, honestly, like with our firmware, you would never know if we did have a backdoor." And then I think he like deleted that statement or whatever. But look, people don't like this, right? People don't like to hear this, but hardware wallets, they are protection. They're more protection, right? But sometimes they add new and different risks that if you're not ready for constant management of updating the firmware and understanding how to use it, and if you're very new to crypto, you know, maybe a simple MetaMask and seed words is fine. And then maybe when your bag gets to, you know, $100,000 or some significant size where you're a little more scared, maybe that's when you can get a ledger at that point. But they're not absolutely necessary. And again, nothing is without risk. There could be some 0-day exploit that they discover in ledgers. You know, who really knows? But yes, I do use them. All that said is like I still use hardware wallets. They still protect me because I can understand how to use the hardware, but it's not necessarily intuitive for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bit worrying with Ledger, to be honest. They've had a few exploits, and I think there's better options at this time. You could also buy a cheap laptop and not only use it for crypto and not go on any weird sites and just do that. So I think that could work for people. You know, I know a lot of people that just have a separate crypto laptop than their everyday browsing computer. But yeah, I mean, be safe. Learn about hardware wallets. I'm sure that, well, you can go on YouTube and type anything. Trezor are good, I think. And what do you think about this? Is it Rabby.io? Have you seen this? And I know they're not a hardware wallet, but they're kind of a MetaMask competitor.
Yeah, I've downloaded it just to try it out and experiment. Yeah, Rabby, guys, if you're watching, RABBY, it's PulseChain friendly. It's integrated with PulseChain. You can't buy PulseChain on there, but it's, you know, very easy to switch networks. I've noticed that it loads a lot quicker than MetaMask. There's more security features baked in, and it's more interoperable with different blockchains. So I'm still using MetaMask. I don't feel 100% confident. recommend it, even though they do advertise as, you know, a security focused, better version of MetaMask. It's like, okay, but MetaMask has been around for a long time, and Rabia, you know, I just heard of, but it doesn't seem like a bad idea. Like maybe if you want to use it as a test, try it out. You know, there's plenty of other wallets out there that won't get you hacked. But then you hear news all the time, like Atomic Wallet just lost everybody's private keys, and that was supposed to be non-custodial. So you're like, what the hell, man? It's just like a minefield out there. You have no idea if one of these, because at the end of the day, you're trusting other people to build the right software. You're trusting other people at Trezor to build good, you know, hardware devices. So yeah, I mean, if you stick to MetaMask and safe private key storage and an isolated crypto only laptop that you only connect to the internet when you need to, and you are very careful about not connecting to the wrong Wi-Fi network and accidentally getting a keylogger installed, you're going to be fine with just the bare bones basics, as long as you know, as long as you really don't, you know, go looking up any weird stuff on that laptop, right? Go to any of those dirty websites, you guys.
Yeah, for your crypto laptop, leave it for crypto. Leave the the late night browsing for another laptop. I also saw another video you did. It wasn't on crypto, but something that I really enjoy and I'm passionate about: longevity, your biological age, being younger than your chronological age. I love all that stuff. What are your tips for staying healthy? How's that all going?
It's going great, man. Yeah, just taking supplementation, NMN and NAD plus, a lot of longevity supplements, and then just trying to get out there, exercise, sleep, eat right. If you do all these things, and I'm not perfect, right? I I still go out and drink from time to time. It's a vice, you know, it's a lot of fun, but you feel way better when you're just healthy, 8 hours of sleep, good food, hit the gym. You're actually the way that it transfers into investing is like really remarkable. You might be like, oh yeah, you're full of shit. Try it out, bro. Like actually sleep in an 8-hour night and see how good you feel. Like actually eat a salad once in a while. I love fast food as well. Like I love food that's awful for me. So I've got my vices, but you know, when I'm doing everything right, I'm a lot more immune to the FUD online. I'm a lot more productive, you know, working on my course, making more videos, just happier. Your mood is better. Yeah, a lot of it too is just not drinking as well, but I don't want to be one of those like abstinence guys, right? Like I'm still going to party from time to time, but man, drinking is really, really bad for you. It doesn't go with crypto well either, man. Like it literally gives you kind of this permanent fog and depression, which we're already in a depression in the markets, right? You don't need to add on anything else after that, on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. Like I'm not perfect, and but alcohol is, yeah, it's, let's be honest, why do you have a hangover? It's poison. Your body's trying to get rid of it. I can count the amount of drinks I have normally in a year on one hand these days, but wow. Especially I'm better than I used to be. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, if I'm hanging out with a beautiful lady or I'm, there's a special occasion, I like to have a glass of wine, a gin and tonic or what's not. But, I just, the payoff is just not worth it the next day, when you go out and you just, I don't know, I'm getting older. Maybe it takes a weekend, 3 days to get over a big night. So I'm much more disciplined these days. But going back to what you said, just getting a good 8 hours sleep regularly is the best thing you can do for yourself, right?
It's the, top of the pyramid, really. Or I guess I should say the bottom of the pyramid. It's the foundation for everything. Yeah. You could have a shit diet and you don't even have to work out, but if you just get 8 hours of sleep, that's like 50%. Maybe 30% of it is diet, and then the final 20% is probably exercise.
That's it, man. That is it right there. That's what everyone should be doing in the bear market, right? Working on their health. Health is wealth. There's no point in having 15-year stakes or hodling, if you're gonna if you're gonna kick the bucket anytime soon, or you're gonna be, not be able to enjoy your life with your kids and with your family and what's not. So yeah, man, getting sleep and just the supplements are great. I take some supplements and they're the icing on the cake though. It's the sleep, it's training, drinking lots of water and having a healthy diet. And like you, I like to have a bit of junk food now and again. I like to have the odd drink, but I just know I feel so much better. I'm so much more productive when I've got 7.5 to 8 hours sleep.
What supplements? What's your Substack, bro?
What's my Substack? So for sleep, which we were just talking about, which I think is the most important, I do the Andrew Huberman stack, which is apigenin. Do you know what that is?
No.
So
But I know
apigenin is
Huberman.
Yeah, Huberman has this is his sleep stack. I got it from him, and it works wonders. So apigenin is a derivative of chamomile tea, which is calming. I'm sure you know. So it's a tiny little pill. And what I do is I take this an hour before bed. I put it in. I don't like to take pills late at night because they get stuck in my throat and I don't eat. So I put them in. I just put them in water and dissolve them and drink it like a little shot. So an hour before bed, I empty a capsule of apigenin, 1 capsule of inositol. Have you heard of that?
I think I have. But
okay, and so inositol and magnesium biglycinate. So apigenin and magnesium biglycinate, they help turn off the thinking brain and you just fall asleep faster. And then inositol helps you stay asleep through the night. And I always wake up to use the toilet about 3 a.m. And most of the time I go back to sleep fine. But, you know, if you've got a lot of stuff in my mind or I've got something going on, sometimes the brain starts churning over. I found inositol just turns that off and I go back to sleep pretty much instantly. So those 3. Yeah.
I'm writing it down right now.
Apigenin, inositol, and magnesium biglycinate.
Those 3. Magnesium, yeah. And the biglycinate in particular is like a way better for absorption rate from what I hear. I mean, maybe it's bro science, but I'm pretty sure it's legit. Like I take magnesium before bed and in the morning. It's one of the major nutrients that your body doesn't get enough of. Like 90% of people are magnesium deficient just because we don't eat enough, like nuts and stuff like that. And I think that helps with your mood and your serotonin, and because it's a precursor to 5-HTP, which is also a precursor to serotonin. So magnesium has a lot to do with your happy chemicals. Yeah, luckily, man, I've never been much of like a light sleeper. I fall asleep like a rock, so I don't know if I really need an inositol, but I might try it, maybe just for shits and giggles.
Well, it's not like it's like a sleeping pill, right? It helps with other stuff as well.
Okay.
So it helps. I think it helps balance serotonin. I think so. I think a lot of people are reporting their mood is just better through the day anyway by taking it at nighttime because it stays in the system. So that's on my sleep stack. And then for other stuff, I just take some protein powder to help hit my protein goals, which I take pea protein, which I've found a nice mix of that. And then just the basics, some omega-3s, vitamin D, vitamin C every now and again, multivitamin, you know, just some basic stuff. Not too much. I think before I've overdone it with the vitamins and with the supplements. And I think now with the sleep stack and the kind of just the multivitamins and the protein powder and stuff, I think I've got it covered. But you've got quite a lot going on there. You've got the athletic greens and quite a lot.
I mean, dude, yeah, it's just like I just blow money on shit that I just see on like Instagram ads. Like every podcast just told me to buy athletic greens. So I was like, all right, fine. There's like 70 nutrients in there, so they got to be good for me somehow. No, but I do feel awesome. I understand, like, to a degree, it's a little excessive. Like a lot of these multivitamins and stuff are kind of bogus as well. Like you might think you're buying a multivitamin and you got all your bases covered with one multivitamin, but those ingredients are all shit and they go right to your kidneys and you piss them out. So you want to kind of get some specific things that your body doesn't normally get. You don't need to like blast yourself with vitamin, C or D if you're eating like a couple pieces of fruit every day, right? Like you're kind of okay on a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I get into like the new trendy stuff that David Sinclair. Yeah.
David
Sinclair. Yeah. I'll fucking take whatever he's selling, man. He's like, the dude is 50 years old and he looks like he's 30. So I'm going to go with that guy. Aubrey de Grey. I haven't really heard him recommend anything. Also, that guy looks old, but he is very smart. He's a wise old man. Huberman as well. He's super technical. So it's like, I get lost a lot of the time listening to him. Maybe I'm too dumb to understand what he's talking about, but
no, I always have to rewind stuff, man, when he's talking.
Oh, he's so much information packed, and I'm like, man, it's like you got to just sit there and focus on what he's saying. Otherwise, it's not like casual background noise. Mescaline, someone says in the chat.
You need to be a Chad. Yeah. That's how you get your testosterone and everything up there. But yeah, with the supplements, it's definitely finding a happy medium. Talking about going to your kidneys, a couple of years ago, I had a kidney stone, which is crazy. And I'm not, normally that's for people who are unhealthy. And I think I'm in good health. Like I work out a lot. I keep my body fat low. I eat healthy and what's not. And I was slamming a multivitamin every day, all these different vitamins. And I think that it was just too much on my kidneys. I think I was processing too much, and it wasn't a major kidney stone, but it was enough to put me in hospital, oh man, the pain was unbelievable. It started one Sunday. I was working out and I was like, I feel like I've got a stomach ache. I feel like I've eaten something bad. And then I couldn't eat dinner that night, and I went to bed and I couldn't sleep all night. It was like, I guess I know what a woman goes through at childbirth now, right? And in the end, I ended up going into the emergency room at like 6 a.m. and they gave me like a paracetamol IV drip, and within a minute I felt better, and I was like, oh my god. And then I must have dissolved or something, and it was tiny. They did an ultrasound on me. It was like 2 millimeters or 3 millimeters. Some of them can be 10 millimeters, but I put it down to too many supplements. So I kind of backed off.
It's about the quality as well. But yeah, that sucks, man. That sounds brutal. I'd rather take a kidney stone than popping a baby out of me, though. But hey, that's if I had to choose.
Any day of the week. But that wasn't fun. So it's a happy medium. And I think before that, you get your sleep right, you eat right. Like you said, I only like vitamin C. I used to take vitamin C every day, and it's way overkill. Like if you're eating an orange, an apple, or whatever, a pear, and some greens, you're getting enough vitamin C. I'll take a vitamin C after a hard workout for recovery these days. But yeah, apple cider vinegar is good. I like this as well.
Oh yeah, I put that in tea every morning. It's good for your digestive health, I think. Allegedly.
And that helps break down kidney stones too. So if anyone's got any of those, lemon, water, and apple cider vinegar. So for you, out of all the supplements you're taking, what do you think has been the biggest needle mover for you?
Man, it's probably the stuff from Tally Health. They give you I think David Sinclair designed like the perfect longevity pill in his own eyes. It's like resveratrol and facetin and some other words I can't pronounce. But man, they give you like 4 pills a day, and if you've been like eating junk food and shit, because this will literally just flush your entire body out, man. And it's like I literally feel like I'm just and I've been taking these DNA tests as well. So like I just took one, earlier. I did a little video about it. It told me I had a metabolic age of 27, and I'm 29. So I just took another one about a week ago. So we'll wait till the results come back, and we'll see if I actually was able to take some years off of my metabolic age, or if I aged more. I'm trying to go back in time, man. I'm trying to reverse the clock here. Why not, right? Rich people problems.
Exactly. Have you seen Brian Johnson?
Yeah, man, he gets so much hate because it's so funny because when people call him a vampire and stuff, I'm like, well, he looks like a vampire, but he spends what, like millions of dollars every year just to get
2 million. 2 million a year.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I hope he can be an example. I'm not a hater on that guy at all, but that's like his whole life. Like I think he's dedicated. It's called the blueprint, right? His whole life is dedicated to trying to prove that maybe a human being can live till 150 or something like that. I hope he does. I'm rooting for him. I
think, correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the chat, I think he develop Cash App or something like that in Silicon Valley, and he exited for like 300 million. So he's good.
Yeah, 800 million. So he's almost a billionaire.
So he's good. His full-time job is just anti-aging. I find it fascinating. And what I do is I've been following him for the last 12 months. I'll look at what he does. And of course, it's crazy what he does. Like, you haven't got the time or the money or resources. But I pick certain things. Like, for example, he uses tea tree oil every night after he brushes his teeth. He just rinses his mouth with a couple of drops of tea tree oil. And he says that his dentist can't get his gums to bleed, right? Even when they try to. So like something small like that, why not, put it into your thing, right? He's been testing it. He's got all these different things, and some of them are crazy. They're too expensive, but maybe some of them you can do. Maybe you can get a red light machine, do the red light therapy before bed or something like that. Yeah.
Tea tree oil is interesting. I got some of that just laying around. Maybe I'll give it a try.
So he said 3 or 4 drops in the mouth, swish it around for 20, 30 seconds, and his dentist literally hasn't been able to make his gums bleed, even by trying with one of those sharp implements or whatever. So, these things anyone can do. What's a bottle of tea tree oil? $10, if that?
Yeah, not much.
What about training? Do you work out much?
Yeah, probably 4 or 5 times a week. I just lift weights, just pick things up and put them back down.
Nice.
Usually, you know, you want to rotate chest and tries, and then one day back and buys. It's like push muscles, pull muscles, sprinkle some legs and abs in there every so often. I don't do like a full leg day. I'll do like one set of legs like at the end of every workout. So maybe I should do more legs, but you know, just gotta go for the glamour muscles. It's summertime, so tank muscles only right now.
Oh yeah, of course. You need the wife beater on and the shoulders and the biceps looking good, right?
That's right.
Man, growing up watching like Rocky movies and Stallone and Van Damme, all I wanted was just, you know, big arms. I never got them that big, obviously, because I wasn't pharmaceutically helped.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, thought about it, but the risk just does not outweigh the reward there.
Oh yeah, of course.
With,
I mean,
you know,
it's just everyone wants to have those the arms and be jacked, and of course you can look good, obviously being natural, but you're never going to look like Arnie or Stallone or Van Damme without a few Mexican supplements thrown in there.
You know, you can do it right though. I mean, I've heard you can do it in a way that if you really pay close attention and you're educated on it. I'm just not that educated. Knowing me, I would fuck something up. I would just be like, oh shit, I took too much and now my dick is really tiny or whatever happens, you know. I don't know. But yeah, it's just like if you cycle on and off the right way, what is it? Is trend one of the ones like people do? I don't know.
I'm not, I don't know much about it, but what I do like is that now, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it was completely taboo. People were lying about it, right? They don't do it. Now you have people like Derek from More Plates, More Dates, and all these guys like Vigorous Steve, and they just talk openly on YouTube about it. And I just think it's so much better because if you're going to do it, why not do it safely? Why not learn from someone who knows how to do it?
Yeah.
Like you, like, of course, as a young guy, especially when I was younger, I was thinking, yeah, well, maybe I should. Maybe any guy wants to think about it at some point because they want to look good for curls for the girls. They want big arms and stuff. But then I thought about it and I'm like, nah, you know, I don't want to put my hormones and health under any risk. But if you do want to do it safely. Learn from the guys who are making content on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that there's so much more open about it nowadays. It used to be like this bad thing because people would associate it with like cheating on bodybuilding contests, and there's a lot of like made up rumors as well, like, oh, you know, you're, you know, whatever. But yeah, nowadays people are open about that. They're open about Liver King. Yeah, yeah, I mean, Liver King, you know, I don't know, all natural, maybe not.
Oh no, man, he's been busted. Have you seen that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he still doing his thing though? Is he still pretending, or is he?
No. He got busted. He got completely busted. He basically he sent Derek from More Plates, More Dates emails like years ago asking for coaching and listed his full stack on what he was on. And Derek found the emails, and the same as this other guy called Vigorous Steve, who's a guy who Derek streams with, who's a coach who basically helps kind of steroided bodybuilders get in shape. So he's been on the roids the whole time. It was all lies.
Wild, man. Yeah, but at least we're opening up about it, other than Liver King, right? And even like TRT, when people get older, like that's not very controversial anymore because your body does stop producing a lot of testosterone after, you know, the age of 50 or 60, and there's very relatively low risk if you do it the right way as well, to keep that, you know, keep your body in good shape, keep your libido going, just your overall energy and vitality into those later years. So why not? But I think I'm good right now, but you know, it's nice to know that these things are options one day.
You're 29, man. You got another 20, 25 years before you even think about that stuff.
Right.
But what's your advice, man, to the guys? It's the bear market. As we wrap this stream up, what's your advice to people out there who are, you know, soaking up the FUD, the latest dips and all that stuff in the PulseChain and Hex community?
Yeah, man, just try to rise above. Try to really think about, internally. Look internally. Don't look to other people for all the answers. Ask yourself why you're here, and just learn as much as you can so that you can actually believe in all this stuff. A lot of the anger comes from doubt, right? Or same thing with a lot of the crazy fanaticism too. A lot of the emotions come from suppressed doubt. So the more calm and confident you can be in yourself and your own decisions, the more like all this stuff is just gonna really bounce right off of you. So try not to worry about the day-to-day. Zoom out. Think about 1 year from now, how great everything's going to be, and just use this time to stack up your bag.
Good advice as always. And also stay young and healthy. Health is wealth. Where can the people find more about you online?
Yeah, like and subscribe to me on Crypto Coffee 369 on every platform, Twitter and YouTube mostly. Got a new course coming out soon, so keep an eye on hexpassiveincome.com. It's going to have an affiliate program. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the complete PulseChain and Hex ecosystem guide for a brand new beginner. So even if a lot of you guys are OGs or you've been here a while, you might not need it, but you might know somebody that needs it. And there's an affiliate program where you get 40% of the revenue if somebody else buys it. So working hard on that. Hopefully that'll be done in the next month or two. And that can be an onboarding tool as well. So that's really the thing I'm most excited about in the near future. Onboarding and make money in the process, right?
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot for coming on. It's always a good time talking. And yeah, hope to catch up with you on stream again soon.
Thanks, dude. I'll see you on the next one.
See ya. So Crypto Coffee, the man, the myth, the legend. Definitely go and check out his stuff online. I'll link his channel below in the description box. And if you like content like this, you can hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.